Hi, and welcome to another daily recap. Today I'm going to recap day 130, and it's November 5, 2024, Tuesday. So in EU and GU, I didn't get any trades on this day. I must correct this statement because I didn't place any trades on this day, but I got a beautiful long trade on the GU, which I missed it because I was away off the screen for some personal reasons. And EU, same, the long trade, but in EU it would have been a break-even trade, but in GU it is a beautiful winner. So let me show you what happened on these two pairs in detail after jumping into the whiteboard. So starting off with the pair that gave me a break-even trade, that is EU. So this is the daily chart of EU. The daily swing structure is bullish and the internal is bearish. So this is a front of low resistance liquidity being built up, and the price has swept some sell liquidity and made a strong push up. And this is a high probability demand where the price can mitigate into and then push the price up. But sometimes it is not necessary. The price needs to mitigate this demand. Sometimes price may mitigate the value gaps or something like that, and then they can start to push out. So let me zoom in. Yeah, here you can clearly see that the price has mitigated the fair value gap and then made a strong push on the upside. But the thing here is, this is the Monday candle which swept the previous day high. So this times like this is supply, this is the supply, and actually the price has mitigated the supply and then liquidated it. And now the price can come down to mitigate this demand. Anyways, the bias is very unclear in the daily time frame. That's why it is, I will call this as neutral, because price has swept the sell side liquidity, and price has swept the sell side liquidity here and here, demand mitigation right here, and now the price has swept the buy side liquidity, mitigated the daily supply, and there is a demand below. So there is a chance that the price can go up, and there is also a chance that the price can come down. There is no solid possibility of the price going in a particular direction. And most of the times when I am having a solid bias, sometimes price may go against the bias. But days like these, when I'm not having a clear bias, it is safe to stick with the lower time frame session direction. So this is the 4 hour chart where the swing structure is bearish, the internal is bullish, and price has sufficient liquidity right here. So let me zoom in into the 4 hour chart and then explain what the current price action. Price has actually flipped this supply, which means this is the demand that flipped the supply, extreme demand that flipped the supply. So, but it's not necessary that the price needs to mitigate, come down all the way to this demand and then push the price up. Price can fill this the opening gap and assume this as the sell side liquidity, and price can mitigate this 4 hour demand, and there can be a chalk bullish in the S1 time frame, and then price can push up to take out the weak internal high. So that could be one of the scenario. So jumping into the H1 chart where the swing structure is bullish, internal is bearish. So yesterday I clearly mentioned that the price can come down, mitigate this demand, and then chalk bullish, and then I can look for longs. So exactly similar to that, that's what I'm expecting today. But with an additional confluence that there is an uh, opening gap. I'm expecting the price to mitigate the opening gap and then and then it rally up. So this is what I'm expecting today. But expectations doesn't always lead to reality. What happened during this session? Price, without taking the sell side liquidity, without mitigating the opening gap, pushed up, and it mitigated the H1 supply. But still, the I prefer longs, so I mark this as my low probability demand, where I can wait for the price to mitigate this demand, short bullish, then I can look for longs. I can't look for longs directly because there is ton of sell side liquidity below, and there is this New week opening gap. But since also one more thing is that price has mitigated the supply above, which means I can expect the price to come down to mitigate this demand. So if I get suitable chalk right here, there is a bearish chalk and price mitigate the mitigation into the chalk, then I can look for shorts targeting this demand. Not only this demand, the sell side liquidity below and the opening gap below. A lot of things to be targeted below. if the price gives me a chalk bearish. But unfortunately, price did not give me any chalk bearish on this day. Yeah, yeah, price actually gave me a chalk bearish, but I was more conservative. I waited for a better chalk bearish. I mean a chalk bearish that is closer below. But the thing here is you must understand that there is a weak swing high. So this swing high can be taken out. So that's why I call this as the missed rate. I can say this as the sell-side liquidity sweep and this as the push up. So this would be my new fresh POI, and this candle has mitigated this POI, took the sell-side liquidity below, and then boom. That's a beautiful trade. But if I jump into the lower time frame and see the trade, it is not as good as what you see on the H1 chart because this is my H1 POI and this is the lead. I can play the LC1 stop loss just below and target 2.5 R, but this target does not reach 2.5 R, it just met 1.68 R. So which means that probably it can be break even on this trade or not sometimes, depending upon the emotions involved and how much stop loss that I give. Probably I won't give any stop loss for this trade because it's a massive candle probably assuming that I don't give any stop loss, still it just managed to reach 1.68 or so still it is a break even trade. And on the next day, price started to rally down because there is a opening gap, unmitigated opening gap, and a lot of sell liquidity below. So obviously, price will rally down. So this is all about EU, how I missed a break even trade. So let's jump into GU, the most important pair where I missed a beautiful long setup. So the daily structure in the GU is bullish, the swing structure is bullish, internal is bearish. The price has mitigated the daily supply, but if I zoom in, let me go to the zoom in version. So if I zoom in, the price has mitigated the daily demand, and with this strong rejection up, I can expect the price can push up to mitigate to take out the daily targets. But I must also remember that the price has swept the sell side, the buy side liquidity right here. And this demand is formed very long time ago, but this supply is formed very recently with the sweep of liquidity and the price showing multiple rejections to this demand, to this supply. So I can expect the price to the this supply can hold and the price to push down. But one more thing here is price has made an equal high spike here. So I'm expecting the price to take out that equal high and then rally down, taking out the sell side liquidity below this demand. So that could be the possible scenario. So zooming in further into the 4 hour, this is the swing breakout structure, bearish swing breakout structure, and price as now is now in the 4 hour demand zone. So I can expect the price to push up to take out the buy side liquidity above this equal highs, which I discussed in the daily chart just now. So this equal highs can be taken out today. If I get sufficient confirmation in the H1 for longs, then I can look for longs targeting this buy side liquidity. So once that buy side liquidity is taken, so this is my strong 4 hour chart, in the strong 4 hour high, then I can look for the price to chalk bearish in the H1s, then I can look for shorts targeting the weak internal low, weak swing low. Moving on into the H1, you can see the price is in the 4 hour demand zone. The swing structure is bearish, internal is bullish, but and I can look for longs targeting the weak internal rise, the 4 hour buy side liquidity. So a lot of things to be targeted. So the analysis is very simple. Look for some sell side liquidity sweep, which is the sell side liquidity, sweep of sell side liquidity, push up, a fresh POI, entry model, and then boom, take out the weak internal high, which very simple. And this is also low resistance liquidity. This is a 4 hour buy side liquidity, which is an equal high, and this is also a weak internal high. So a ton of buy side liquidity is resting above. So the longs are very high probability for today. Price mitigated this supply. This is also high probability supply, which is formed through a sweep of liquidity. But since the bias is strongly bullish, this supply got flip and this is the demand that flipped the supply. So we have a very high probability POI. We flip the supply, it flipped the supply, it has an induced demand, and it has a ton of buy side liquidity which can be targeted. So with all these confluences, I'm just going to take the trade. So this is the entry model. Entry model is very simple, LC1. So this is my lead. If the price takeout is high, so this would be my lead. So this is my lead for now, and let me show you how I get it. Yeah, price didn't take out the this high, but came down to take out this lid. So beautiful entry. So this is the lit candle. If I had placed my trade right here, I would have got tagged in, and with I mean 2 pip stop loss, I would have with 2 pip stop loss, I would have got tagged in, and 2 pips, even 1 pips would do, right? Because this is a very small candle, probably I will keep 1 or 2 pip stop loss, and boom, it's as beautiful as it is. So within, if I get tagged in right here, 15, 30, 45, around 45 to 50 minutes, I would have, it might take profit. So once the price reaches 51.8, within few minutes, you will see the price would have reached my take profit. So it was a beautiful setup. So I missed this trade as I was lethargic and I did not make any sufficient session updates. Also, I left the desk 1.5 hours before the session ended as it was time for my personal works. So when the session used to start at 11:30 IST and end at 7:30 IST, it was perfectly suiting my lifestyle. But when the time zone has shifted because of the daylight saving time, my start of the session was 12:30 till 8:30. So since I used to leave at 7 p.m. IST, that got used to me, and I left 7 p.m. IST on this day also, which means leaving 1.5 hours of session on the table. So it happened after 7 p.m. IST, and a beautiful setup happened, but I was not able to capitalize on that, and it ended up being a missing trade. So again, I can't control what I can control right here. I can what I can't control right here is the time, which means that I can't go back and place a trade that like I used to do in the backtesting. So I can't do that. I can't control the time. But at the same time, I can control two more things, which is easy for me. That I can control my emotions. So the next time I know that I missed this trade, which means that next time I must not take trades even on the low probability POI for taking kind of revenge trades for this mistrade. So I must not take revenge against my own mistake. This, this is not a mistake of the market. This is my own mistake. So I must accept it and I must move on. So I must not take revenge trades. So I must control that emotion. And the second thing that I can control is my schedule. I can extend my schedule to extra half an hour or 45 minutes so that I don't miss setups like this. So I must make suitable arrangements for that, which I can control to an extent, and then I can take setups like this. But the first and foremost thing that I must control is my emotions and not take revenge trading. So which I did perfectly, and I did not take any revenge trading after this trade, after this way of trading. Yeah, it is what it is, and let's move on. So November should have been a beautiful profit month, but it's still a profit month, but not the profit that I expected. Also, in the November month, I had many health issues. I was absent for most of the days. So, and in one of the days where I was absent, there was another beautiful setup where all my colleagues took, but I didn't take. So, it is what it is. So, you can't control everything in your life. So, when the opportunity meets luck, it's called, when the opportunity meets hard work, that's called luck. You definitely need luck in your life. So ending with this, see you on the next thing. Cheers, guys. Bye. Thank you.